We live. Yes. We are live, guys. We are live. We are live. We are live. Those who are now coming into the podcast, we welcome you. We welcome you. Once again, we have fulfilled our promise. Last week, the Wheel of Doom has chosen the game Dreams Deep. It is a fan based game based on the cult popular RPG Maker horror game called Yumi Nikki. Yumi Nikki. Man, I didn't even know what Yumi Nikki was until like people in the when I live streamed the game yesterday. People was like, this game is like Yumi Nikki. This game is like Yumi Nikki. And everybody kept saying Yumi Nikki, Yumi Nikki. So before we get into the podcast, I would like to introduce my co-host. Of course, you guys know who I am. I am your boy D7, aka D757 Dark Man. And right next to me on my left side is the one and only Captain Cychronic Games.
Yo, what's up?
And we have on the right hand side the one and only, the one that will make you cry if he reviews your games, but he is just like a kitten inside, very purry and very soft like. The resident German simple gaming, also known as Harlequin.
How's it going, guys?
Alright, guys. So, you guys already know when the Wheel of Doom speaks, we have to obey. So, it landed on Dreams Deep by ArealBasil. So, let me pull up the video. That way you guys have an idea of what we played. So a quick backstory. The game is based on the cult classic, or the cult RPG Maker classic called Yumi Nikki. Yumi Nikki is about a girl who have wild dreams, and during their dreams, she explores crazy looking worlds and find certain artifacts to perform certain abilities. So like all the games that we get, we are tasked to play this game for like a week. We spend a whole week to play this game, and we come every Wednesday to give y'all our thoughts about it. Unlike traditional RPG Maker games, this game is not like your traditional RPG. It is actually one of the genres that people use RPG Maker to create a certain genre, which is horror. This is actually a horror suspense like game. So we're going to start with Cychronic. What was your experience with this horror like Yumi Nikki fan based game?
Well, it's weird because I didn't really pick up on that it was supposed to be related to anything horror. So I thought it had like a weird, quirky style, and you go to sleep, and then when you go to sleep, you're in a dream world, and then there's all kinds of different worlds you can go to, or there's a few in this game, but like I could see how there could be more. And you're going through this person's dreams. Basically, it kind of feels a little abstract to me. There isn't really any dialogue or any kind of like story, as far as I can tell. But there's a lot of exploring, and the environments are weird and interesting.
Mhm.
It kind of feels like you're in a dream and where things don't make sense, but they make sense while you're in the dream, but they really don't make sense, you know. But I thought it was kind of fun. I mean, that was my initial impressions of it. But I didn't pick up on the horror part. Like it didn't seem scary to me at all. Like, but I didn't know it was trying to be.
Okay. All right. So you like the quirkiness of the game and the abstract, graphics in the different worlds.
The cheese world.
Yeah.
And the weird satellite thing, and then the school. I mean, it was weird. There was lots of weird environments.
The way
it was cute.
The way that you're sounding, it sounds like you enjoyed yourself playing this game. You really had a great time playing this.
Well, I mean, it's not. It's not.
You're laughing. You're laughing. You can see you're smiling right now.
Well, it's not what I would normally play, but it was different enough where I was like, okay, I'm curious to find out more about what's going on here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. Yeah, it was cute.
All right. Resident German, what was your take on this game when you was able to experience?
I hated every minute of it, pretty much.
Oh my gosh, really?
It's not really the game's fault. It's just I don't know, man. To me, this game was very disturbing, and I don't know. It made my skin crawl, basically. Like I think it was a very creepy game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, dreams, I guess, can be like these, nothing quite makes sense. I suppose that's what dreams are like.
Mm-hmm.
But the dreams this girl had, like, she looks like a 5-year-old to me, or 6-year-old, and the types of dreams you're visiting are very disturbing to me. Like, what kind of business has this 5-year-old girl been through?
Mm-hmm.
To dream about like a fucking Mars space station with zombies and a fucking school with dead people and whatnot. Like, I think that's very disturbing.
Yeah.
I missed the cheese world. I somehow missed that door, I guess. I saw it on your stream and I see it now, but I didn't get there in my own playthrough.
Yeah, it's 2 different doors you go through. One leads you to like the apartment complex, which can be a maze, and the other one leads you to the cheese.
Yeah, I was in an apartment. Like, the first world I visited was like the deep sea thing. Which,
okay, you went to the green world. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the green world, and then, deep sea is like a human fear on its own already.
Mm-hmm.
So you go in there and you jump in holes and you kind of get deeper and deeper. So I noped out of there real fast too. When I got stuck, I hit one of these sharks like you did, and you got stuck in that room, I guess. So I went out there and never turned back.
Yeah.
And then I came to this fidgety world, the space thingy, and suddenly I was in a zombie world, so I noped out of there fast too, and then I ended up in a school of dead people, so I ended up finding none of these artifacts, how you called it, like none of these skills or whatnot. I found none of them.
Okay.
I played for an hour and I just got lost everywhere, like nothing made sense. The game was very disturbing to me, so I mean they did set it up very well, like the game looks good and they really nailed the atmosphere in my opinion, but
yeah,
I did not have a good time with it. Oh my god.
All right, thank you for sharing.
It's
sharing your
weird
thoughts.
though because I didn't get a disturbing vibe from it really at all.
You just fucked in the head is all.
All right, so the main objective of the game, when you first start a new game, you are standing in the room. It looks like you are tired. We don't know the time of the day. because there is no windows. You can't really see outside. You don't know if it's daytime or nighttime. But we do know that the protagonist is sleepy because they do yawn. And there's a lot of interactions. You know, there's the light switch you could interact with. There's the door. You could try to go outside, but she shakes her head no. You can't leave. There's a computer where you could save your game. And there's a TV with really no action going on. And of course, there is the bed. So you're pretty much stuck in that room until you go to sleep. When you go to sleep, you are then able to go outside the primary door and to like an observatory room where you can look through a telescope, microscope, whatever. Well, a telescope, and you can see different worlds. So when you look through the telescope and see the different worlds, you are able to travel to 2 different worlds. It may be a different world, but I haven't seen any. I did try to search, all over the place, but it just kind of repeats like on the parallax map. It just, keep scrolling back and, like infinite times. So you choose between 2 different worlds. This world is the deep sea world, and the other world, as you see with the cheese world, the satellite world, you could go in between those 2 different worlds. But the main objective of the game is you have to find 3 artifacts. When you find 3 artifacts, you are the victor of the game. But the kicker is you have to find a specific artifact in order to progress to like a new area or whatnot. If you don't have that artifact, you won't progress. But with my experience of the game, that's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. You don't really need the artifacts, the effects, as they call it in the game. You don't need the effects to actually win the game. This level do look like Star Hill from Mario RPG. It really do. When I was playing it, that's what I was thinking. Star Hill. The whole time. Yep. So that's the objective of the game. And each artifact gives you a different ability. Like the scooter, it increases your mobility. I would say this one is needed because it helps escape these white sharks that you see on the screen, which upon touching, you go to a room where you're stuck, and the only way to get out of there is you waking up. And when you wake up, you are pretty much back in reality, and you gotta go to sleep again. Then you got to do the level all over again from the beginning. That's pretty much it. So you won't know what you're doing because the game do not really instruct you on your goal. It don't even say find 3 artifacts in the game. Only reason why I knew that is because I read the itch.io page. That's the only way I knew what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, and I didn't read the page, so I was kind of like, what am I supposed to do in this game? And I was exploring, but yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah, and as you can see, one of the scooter you get inside the satellite world. You go through the door, you go to the cheese world, then you go through the steps on the cheese world. When you reach the end, you'll be on top, and you'll be able to get the motor scooter from doing the cheese level. This level, it's like it's a maze. It keep repeating itself, so you actually have to follow the correct path. Oh my god, who's at my house? I'm sorry, guys. Somebody's at my door. I'll be right back.
But yeah, so this map, what was at the end of this map? I don't remember.
I wouldn't know. I didn't get there.
Yeah, I did see D7's playthrough, and the megaphone was interesting. I didn't actually. I got to the school part, but I didn't actually get the ghosts or I didn't find out.
Yeah, I mean, I got to the part that's on screen right now, where you kind of just drop out the level and land on the line, and then you just in a Jupiter base. I did get to that part, but like, I don't know, man. Like it's just maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but to me, it's like this game has like really like sinister like implications, right? You're a small child, but you're stuck in your room. You're either locked in your room or you're not allowed outside. Like, it could be anything, right? I mean, gameplay wise, you just don't need to leave because there's no gameplay outside of your room, right? That makes sense, but like, it's a very implicative game, if that is even a word.
Yeah, maybe she's gone through, some kind of extreme trauma or.
Exactly. Like, I think this game has really sinister like implications. Like, you see all this blood in like a little child's dream and whatnot, and she's not allowed to leave her room, and I don't know, man. To me, this game is really disturbing. I don't know. I have no idea how you didn't pick up on it. how you just thought this is all okay.
Well,
I don't fucking know.
Well, sometimes dreams are disturbing, but it's just.
I mean, not when you're 5 years old.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Right? Not a normal child, at least. That's what I mean, right? It's not what a normal child would usually dream about.
Well, maybe this kid's just different.
Oh yeah, maybe. Or maybe she slaughtered her parents or whatnot. We don't know.
Yeah, could be.
All right, gentlemen.
I think that's really disturbing.
What's disturbing?
This fucking game.
It's a horror suspense game.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have a horror tag though. It just says RPG Maker, man.
See, that's the thing. Like, this is a fan game. So, I remember getting Yumi Nikki on Steam. It is free. If y'all guys want to check it out, it is on Steam for free. And like I was telling you guys, when I was streaming this game, everybody kept saying, this Yumi Nikki, this Yumi Nikki, this Yumi Nikki. Like, they kept saying that. Yumi Nikki, Yumi Nikki, Yumi Nikki.
I saw a playthrough on YouTube on Yumi Nikki because I never knew it existed.
So
until like a year or two ago, but yeah. It's not really a game I would play ever.
Yeah, so I played it and I'm like, wow. This is exactly a replica of what we're playing, but this one has better graphics because it's on I think Yumi Nikki was on the older engine.
Yumi Nikki is like what, Beachz or some shit like
that? 2018. I think it came out 2018. And the developer kept saying, one of the developers, not of the Yumi Nikki, but RPG Maker developer, kept saying they was inspired by this game, and it turns out Wrath of Wood is inspired by Yumi Nikki, because when you play Yumi Nikki, it screams Wrath of Wood. Like it screams it. Like my computer, it's just like this but in 3D.
Yeah,
that's Wrath of Wood style.
This weird stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, really? But how much I played it, guys, the game wasn't for me. Like, yeah, it could be fun if you're a casual gamer and you like the games like Monopoly or Wheel of Fortune, or maybe a little Super Mario Brothers here and there, or maybe Hannah Montana or Paw Patrol. You know, you'll probably play something like this.
What the fuck?
I'm just saying, like, this isn't for no.
If you like Paw Patrol and you like Hannah Montana, you're gonna play this game
Man,
and collect ghosts of dead people in a school.
this isn't a game designed for hardcore, because only thing you're doing is just exploring random stuff and the maps keep looping. You just keep going in circles until you find the effect for that level, then you wake up. That's the goal. You find the effect, there's nothing else need to be done, then you just wake up, then you go to the next level, rinse and repeat. Now don't get me wrong,
Games like this are not about the gameplay at all.
don't get me wrong, the effects are unique, but you know, it's repetitive. It's very repetitive, and you know, you're not really trying to spend a whole bunch of hours just walking around and trying to find artifacts. That's not fun. A hardcore gamer ain't gonna be enjoying this game. You know, he's gonna be like, man, what the heck is this? But I may be wrong though. You always got that person. You got that one person that will play anything. You know what I mean? That would play anything because it is something that's electronic. It got something to do with computers. But it's just wasn't. What was that?
But isn't that what you do with the RPG Maker games? You play pretty much, you know, anything, right?
Different though. Because I'm that person that plays a game for people who may not have anybody play their game. So I could be that one person, that way, you know, they could actually see somebody play their game and enjoy. That's how I started out in the business. I like RPGs, but at the same time, it's good to play RPGs made by people and not these AAA companies.
Yeah, I agree.
So with this game, you know, even though this is a fan game, you know, it's going to be just like the parent project. Right? Fan games are based on the parent's project, correct?
Yeah.
So when you play games based on parents' projects, you either can make it better or make it worse, or it's just, it is what it is. But it turns out there's a cult following for this game, for Yume Nikki in general. So you got people who love this type of game, who would kill for this type of game. Excuse my language, but they would kill for this game.
Well, murder people to get it.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm sorry to say, even though this is RPG Maker, this game looks better than some of the RPG Maker games that's out there that's going commercial.
Yeah, there's a lot of games out there that don't look that great. That, you know, this looks pretty good though. The style is good and everything like that. I agree.
It's like Earthbound.
Presentation is like one of the most important parts of a game. Like, there's no denying it. Like, as much as RPG Maker developers might hate it, presentation is like the first thing that gets people interested in your game. And for a horror game needs presentation even more than like an RPG, because the atmosphere has to hit right. The music must be right. The presentation of the levels must be right. It can't just be like, imagine if this was made in RTP. It
Yeah.
wouldn't sell its effects because it just doesn't look the part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't look creepy or whatnot. These worlds, they would just look generic fantasy RTP. So for a horror game, I feel like presentation is even more important than, let's say, an RPG, because an RPG, you can look past some of the flaws. You can make an RPG with RTP too, because it's mostly about like the gameplay, all the unique mechanics and whatnot. But if you make a horror game, the presentation must be right. There is no way around it. If you don't land, if you don't nail the presentation in a horror game, you done fucked up. Your horror game is not scary anymore.
If you made a horror game in RTP,
Yeah, it doesn't sell. Horror doesn't sell in RTP. It just doesn't work. It's not scary, no matter how you make it.
I agree. I think RTP.
You can add all the lighting effects in RTP and all your little flashlight cones and whatnot. It's not scary. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, because like me and DJ, we like the RTP games. You know what I mean? It's always a thrill when I stream those games and you know, and people watch them, because you gotta think about this though, because who can afford the packs? Some people can't afford the packs, right? Some people cannot afford the packs. So it's good to see what you can do with the RTP tile set in order to make great maps based on the what you have, you know, your original resources.
Well, I don't know. I these days I make my own stuff, but I see what you're saying. But they need to skill up and improve their skills. But no, I don't really like RTP games that much. I've just seen too many of them, and I'm just like, meh.
I think like base RTP is just not nice to look at. If you're using RTP, at least go around the internet and use all the free stuff you can find. There's so much free additions to that. If you add all of these things, then it could be decent. But like base RTP doesn't have shit.
Yeah.
Like I've had a commission just like the other day making RTP maps, and you just realize it every time you use it. Like if you want to make a town map and whatnot, you got two types of trees. You got a 4-tile tree and a 2-tile tree, and that's fucking it. Right? You have zero variation in there, so at least go around and look for free stuff. There's so much free stuff on the forums with more trees and decorations and whatnot, and you can make much better looking maps with those things. And they're free, so there's really no excuse to not use them.
And you know what, this probably derives from the person not putting a true effort in their game.
Exactly.
Because
if you have a excuse me, keep going.
So basically you're gonna pay somebody to create every map for your game. Basically that's what they're doing. If you can't create one map and you gotta pay somebody to create a map for you, you might as well get somebody to create all the maps then.
Yeah, that's what they do usually.
But I'm not gonna mess your business up. I mean, make that money, because even AAA companies, they do hire people to create levels and maps and stuff like that. So I mean, it's understandable why these markets do exist. So
I mean, for me, it's like a service like any other. Like like just how you would pay an artist because you can't draw.
Yeah.
You pay somebody to do it. Like if you can't map, or you just don't like it, or maybe you just don't have the fucking time to do it, then you can pay somebody to do it. Like it's a service like any other, really.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Like you can go ahead and do like the Psychronic way, of course, and just trying to learn everything. But like for me, at least, at the end of the day, I want to release my game in this lifetime. So me starting now to learn how to draw wouldn't produce any like professional level results, right? It would be wonky, like beginner amateurish art, like we see in so many other games.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
but I don't want to have that. I want to have good looking art. I want to have professional looking art in my game. So I would take years just learning how to draw until I get to that level. Like, when am I gonna ever release my game at that point, right? And then I gotta learn coding too, because now I'm gonna do everything myself. So I gotta learn JavaScript, and that's gonna take a year or two as well until I can produce any more advanced plugins for myself.
Yeah.
So that's like at least 4 years down the drain, and I didn't even start making the game yet.
Although I will say though that over the years, and I will say that for myself, it has taken years, and I still have plenty to learn. But it's now at the point where because it's really a nice feeling because you don't feel trapped anymore. Like I always felt in the past before I could actually do it myself, I felt trapped. Like, okay, I need this. I can't find it. You're looking for free stuff. You can't find it. You're looking for even paid packs. You can't find it. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to have to pay somebody for this specific thing. But then now I'm like, I can imagine something in my head, and I'm like, I need to build something like this, and I can actually do it, and then I can move forward faster. It gets faster as I get along, but. I can understand why somebody wouldn't go through the trouble, but I feel like it was valuable to get there. Yeah. So now I'm having a lot of fun with it.
It's useless or anything. It just takes more time.
Yeah, true.
Right? I got a bunch of artists in my friend list right now. If I need anything, I just hit any of them up. Right? So it doesn't cost me any extra time. I just tell them I need this and that, and then I'm gonna fork out some money, and that's it.
Yeah, and I have some artists I work with too on custom stuff as well.
Exactly.
So it's a mix. I do agree with you about how long is it going to take for me to get my game done, and I basically landed where I think I need to land, where I am getting it done in a reasonable amount of time. So I'm getting there.
It's just a lot of stuff you gotta learn before you even start out.
Yeah, I can see why, a lot of times when it comes to game development, right, there's a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, I'll make a game, and then the minute they get into the engine and realize how much actual work it is to get every little piece done, they're like, nope, I'm good.
It's a lot of work.
We always started out like that. RPG Maker is so trying to make it sound easy, right? It's easy to make a game, and then you make your first little RPG Maker game, and at one point you realize that it's shit, because everybody has made this RTP looking jank, bad writing ass game before, right? Everybody started out there. Nobody knew what they were doing. They just putting together some events and whatnot, and you think it's dope, but it's really not. And at some point you're just like, oh my god, there's so much.
I still have my first projects, and I sometimes I open them up and look at them again, and I just start cracking up.
You just cringe a little at yourself.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, this is so bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but we all got there eventually, and at some point if you keep at it and you start to be like kind of serious about it and really want to make a game and maybe even go commercial with it, then you start realizing how much fucking shit you gotta deal with. Like, there's so many things to consider, and you gotta change this and that doesn't work right, and it's a whole lot of more work than anybody, I think, starting out ever imagined.
It's a lot of work when it comes to making these games, and
even I don't think anybody starting out realizes that, like, just how much work it is.
Yes, even though it can be plug and play, that's why I like looking at these developing streams, because you actually see like the hard work these developers put in. And I could easily say this game, even though it's a jam game, they put some time and some effort into making this game. It's actually a little bit better. I mean, to me, I did play the original. I do like this one better than the original. in my honest opinion. You know,
Yeah,
but
the original is more like this do-it-yourself kind of
yeah,
style, right?
yeah,
That's exactly what it is.
mm-hmm.
It looks, it's there, I guess, and it's dream world, so they don't really have to look that great either, because it's a dream. It could look like anything. But yeah, personally, I like this one stylistically more as well, because it just looks more professional.
Yeah,
it has a more unified style. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why I never liked Starshift's graphic style, because to me it still looks like this do-it-yourself kind of style, because that's what it is at the end of the day, right? And for the most part, it is just do-it-yourself.
Starship looked great though.
No, I don't think so. Like the tile sets, oh my god.
I disagree, my guy.
I mean, I think they look good, but I also see that they have some inconsistencies at some points. But I feel like it's like Frankenstein's monster, right? You got all these little bits and pieces, and exactly. over time though, I'm smoothing out the bits, because I always see it as like, oh, if it's not totally right, I'll just do. It's just a placeholder for now, and then later it actually gets.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not hating. I mean, you put a lot of work into your universe and your games, but like for me, it's just too noisy. Every tile is just too noisy. I can't even make out what I'm looking at for the most part. It's just a lot of blinking lights, and I don't even know what that is.
Computer consoles.
Exactly, and the walls look like that, and everything is kind of very busy. Like
this
very
guy
noisy.
talking about blinking lights, but he in front of a blinking light, his computer screen. That don't make sense.
Everything is oversaturated.
Oh my gosh.
Punching you in the face.
I mean, I think it looks amazing because it screams sci-fi. Sci-fi is supposed to be, you know, like weird and funky, like, you know, Starship definitely.
Well, if you Winlu has released some previews of his new sci-fi tiles, that's more comprehensible to look at.
Okay.
At least for me, like when I look at Starship tile sets, most of the time I don't know what I'm looking at. Like I know this is supposed to be a floor, but it doesn't look like a floor to me, or a wall, because there's just so much things. Like I don't know, are they pipes or what are these things I'm looking at? Because everything is so busy on the screen, right? I can't make it out.
There's random machinery. There's
exactly. It's also random. It's random.
There's junk piles all over the ground.
Exactly. It's just too busy for me to really know what I'm even looking at.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's just me. I don't know.
No, it's all. Everybody's got their preference, but
exactly.
I'll keep it in mind, because I'm sure that there are some maps that are a little too busy, and I can probably make them better. So.
Well, he'll have to
go back to the game we played, or.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, we would basically talking. We were basically on track with that, but I mean, this game. It's a short game. You know, you're not going to really understand the concept unless you played the original game. You know what I mean? Because this same screen is going to be it has it in the original game. The same the keys are the same. 9 is to wake up, 1 is for action. They're the same thing. The games are the same. I played the original Yumi for like an hour and a half yesterday to compare it to this one. So yeah, I mean that's why I played the original, so I can like see, you know, because everybody in the chat kept saying Yumi Nikki.
And what was it about? Like, can you fill in some context?
It's really about nothing. It's like how this game started up is how that game started up. You see the little dream cycle. There's a little text here and there, but other than that, you're in a room. You got a bed, you got a TV, you got a telephone. You jump in the bed, get under the covers, go to dream world, go through that door, Then you see a whole bunch of doors. It's a whole bunch of doors this time instead of like the planets. It's nothing but doors, and it's like 10 or 12 doors. And you pick a door, you go to a wacky world, you walk around till you find the artifact. Once you find the artifact or the effect, you leave.
Okay.
That's it.
The main difference, though, I believe, from Yuminiki is more abstract.
Yeah, it's like a Rafflewood game.
Exactly, it's more abstract. It's really like a dream world. It looks so weird. It doesn't mean anything.
Funny.
This game is more tangible. Like you see dead people here. You don't necessarily see dead people in Yuminiki because it's so abstract. You don't know what the fuck you're looking at.
But dead people should not scare a person.
What do you mean?
Like ghosts, that shouldn't scare a person like that. It's a video game.
It doesn't matter.
It's not real.
It doesn't have to be.
So if you're scared by playing video games, I don't think you need to play video games anymore.
What you talking about?
I'm just saying, like,
I'm not saying I'm scared.
I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about you.
What I find disturbing in this game is it's more tangible. With Yuminiki, it's like you don't really know what you're looking at. So it doesn't really mean anything, right? You could play Yuminiki without ever thinking about it again. If you play this game, since it's more tangible and more comprehensible, and you see the blood and you see the dead people, it makes implications, right? Because you're a small child dreaming these things. So what does that mean, right? So what's the backstory behind that?
It could just be that on that TV they were watching a lot of rated R movies or something.
Could be.
That's all that was on, and they just their brain is just breaking down the thoughts from the day. And,
exactly, it could be, but we don't know. It could mean anything.
This game isn't for kids.
I find this game more intriguing than I would Yuminiki, because Yuminiki is just abstract weird shit. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
This game has implications.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It could be a TV show. Maybe the parents were out and they watched a TV show they shouldn't have as a child, and now they're having bad dreams or whatnot. But it could mean other things too, like maybe they're in a mental hospital. We don't fucking know what happened, right? They could have shot someone. Maybe they've been in a school shooting, whatnot. We don't fucking know. So that's why I find this game much more disturbing than I would find Yuminiki.
Yeah. Okay. I do see what you mean. It's more, this is more realistic than what Yuminiki can like actually portray, because it's like, did Yuminiki had blood? I don't think it had blood, but it did have monsters and stuff like that.
All kind of weird creatures, but like they're abstract. Like we know, even if we play a child, we know these creatures would not exist, right? But we know dead people exist.
Yeah.
It's more realistic, more tangible, and to me this implies a lot of maybe sinister backstories to this game. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just reading too much into it, and who knows?
I mean, it's really, like I said, I mean, unless you played the original, you're not going to really understand what you're playing.
It just seems like weird dreams or weird nightmares.
That's all. It's dreams with crazy interpretation. How to interpret it, I don't know.
For me, it would have been a Rafflewood game, though. That's a weird dream. It just looks weird and doesn't mean anything.
Because I've had some pretty crazy dreams before too that were pretty disturbing, but like nothing happened that like caused me to have those dreams, or nothing that I could remember, So yeah, I mean, I just saw it as a dream world, so it didn't. I guess it didn't trigger my senses as far as disturbing me, but.
This game didn't disturb me at all. It's just another game that I thought it could appease a crowd, but it's not for me. It's not the type of game that I will play. I do like adventure games.
Not an RPG.
I do like adventure games. I do like suspense horror games. I do like puzzle games. You know, this game, especially with these graphics, will make a great puzzle game. You know, like you're in a haunted mansion, or you're going to different worlds, and you need to like collect certain items and solve certain puzzles to get out. You know, it could be like an Alice in Wonderland type thing. You know, you're in a crazy world. You got to escape Wonderland to get back to the real world. You know, this game will work for that. But the way that the game is created, it kind of felt like the original could have been just like an artist type game. Maybe the developer is an artist, you know, and the works that we see in the game is probably their real work. Like that's probably their real art that they are broadcasting in the video game, and you see a whole lot of it. You know, maybe they're expressing their art in the game. That's what I got from it, because everything is weird. I never seen these tiles before, these pictures before. You know, maybe the developer is an artist, and this is the way for them to express their art. They're weird and all that stuff, you know, in real life.
Yeah, it could be. That's exactly the thing. Like, it could be anything, but I don't know. For me, this, like, even the trash bags in the ocean world, like, there could be a fish in the trash bag, but it might as well just be a not really yet dead person in there that's still twitching.
And it's a smelly world, because you got fish smells, you got trash smells. So the atmosphere could be a polluted environment or smelly environment, but all that stuff changes when you keep going underground, stuff like that. It's like then you go into a freaking a Jupiter room, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, Jupiter Mars station.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like what you're going through in this game. It's like huh? What the heck? You know, in replaying it, you know, you still gonna get the same experience the whole time. Even at the end of the game, you get the microphone. You yell at people, they die. Sometimes they drop currency, but there's nowhere in the game where there's a store to buy or use these currencies. Like, I haven't found anything, you know, so I don't know. Like, only the developer knows the true intentions of the game, but other than that, I haven't seen anything where you can buy, or maybe you can unlock a different planet if you kill everybody. I actually I killed all the people in the apartment. You know what I mean? I yelled at every single last one of them. They all disappeared. Nothing happened. Then I came to this planet, was yelling at the at some of the enemies. You know, nothing happened. So I'm just figuring, you know, it's already beat the game. You know,
maybe the money and shop part and whatnot. Maybe that just wasn't possible to get in the jam version, because that's a jam game as far as I know. So maybe it just didn't make the cut in the time.
So I wonder how long it took him to make this. Like, how long?
I mean, the inventing is fairly simple, so making the game itself probably not too long. If they made the assets, I guess that would take time, but the gameplay itself is fairly straightforward.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's kind of a walking simulator.
Yeah, it's really, like, eventing wise, this is not hard to make. But they have these tile sets, and the music does fit really well too, so I don't know if they got made themselves or maybe someone else made it for them.
I think
that could have taken some time, but yeah, just making the thing, not very long.
I think they're already a skilled developer that knew what they were doing, just didn't decide to polish some things up, because there is some tile issues here and there where the top of your head is kind of cut off.
The sprite, right? The sprite is 2 times high. So
yeah.
what happens if you if you have a table or stuff like that, it's I have the same problem. If you have a 2-tile high sprite and you have a unpassable lower half of a tile, the upper half is above player, like a star tile, it cuts off the sprite's head. So there's a problem with RPG Maker. You need a plugin to fix that. I think it's specifically because of I think it may be the counter tiles when they have the counter flag. Because you obviously have like plans and whatnot where this problem doesn't happen. So I'm not quite sure what exactly causes it. But it's not always. But trees do it too. If you have some weird passabilities on the tree, it can happen too. Like you definitely need a plugin for that to fix it.
Hold on.
RPG Maker was not made for 2-tile high sprites, apparently.
Yeah, I've the passing over under thing I've always found to be really annoying.
Yeah, it's really, really basic and really rigid. It's really annoying.
Okay, so they have from May the 15th to June the 26th to make their game. So pretty much they had a month and a week.
Yeah, I can see that.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's just not a bad game for that, because like we don't know how busy they were too. Like, do they have 8 hours a day to work on this jam game, or maybe not? Right? Maybe they just had an hour or 2 per day to make this. So a month and a week could mean anything between like 120 hours or 60 hours. We don't know.
There's a Yumi Nikki fan game wiki and a Discord. And I mean, this is I don't think a lot of people joined the jam. Well, it's 31 entries. I'll take that back. It's 31 entries.
Yes, as much as you could expect from an RPG Maker jam, I suppose.
Yeah, there's a lot. So, I mean, overall, developer, you did a great job.
Oh, absolutely. I think the game is very, very well made.
Yeah.
And put together. It's not my thing.
Yeah,
I don't play these types of games.
Yeah, it's not my thing. It's kind of like Persona, how that could be people's thing, but I just can't get into Persona. No disrespect.
I mean, the game got me good, like more than you guys, apparently.
I'm not spending $20. See, after playing the game I play, I can't spend $20 on Yumi Nikki. I just can't do it. Too much money. That's like paying for another game that must not be named. You know, that's like doing that. You know, I'd rather, procure it through a gift. If somebody gift it to me, then yeah, sure. Why not? But other than that, I can't do it, my God. Yumi Nikki, okay, there's free versions, there's paid versions. There's Yumi 2, Sleepless Nights. There's an adult patch, which is free. Maybe that's like the blood and all that stuff. There's Yumi Nikki Dream Diary. It's $20. That's the 3D version DJ was talking about. And that came out February of 2018. So the developer is Kalakawa Corporation.
Maybe they published it. I don't think they made it.
They're saying that's the Okay, let me go to the original game. The developer is somebody named Kikiyama. Playism is the
I think it
publisher.
was like a Chinese or Japanese person who made Human Nikki, and I don't think they ever like came out either. Like they never really communicated with like the community or whatnot. As far as I researched it, they just dropped the game and then just kind of vanished.
That's weird. I mean, it got a lot. It got good reviews, 1,000. This one got 6,000 player reviews.
Yeah, I mean, Kadokawa doesn't make games.
Very positive. Very positive. I mean, so you could
people
definitely.
love Human Nikki stuff, man. They fucking love it.
I just don't see how, man. I can't. Just can't do it. There's a whole Wikipedia that I was told on how to like solve the puzzles and stuff like that, like a whole strategy guide, but Wikipedia based on the worlds. Like that's insane. That's insane.
Yeah, there's a whole like fan community out there for Human Nikki type games.
All right, so I mean, we're not.
Like, I don't know. It's like there is a certain appeal to it, like exploring deep dream worlds, and if you like horror games, it's this weird shit. Like people are into weird shit.
Yeah, but it's on. You can't really do nothing, man. Only thing you're doing is escaping the shark. That's it. Escaping enemies.
Yeah, games like this are not about mechanics or anything. It's more akin to maybe like a visual novel. You're just in it for like exploring the worlds and thinking about what it could mean and whatnot.
So how are we giving this game a pass and not the other game that must not be named?
Oh, because the other game was an RPG that was just poorly made.
Oh, okay. What do you think, Cychronic?
Think about what?
This game versus the other game that must not be named.
This is a much better game. I mean, it's a better game, and it is not the type of game I would normally play. I'm really into story. I really like big narrative-driven games, like in general. This game is a little bit like just walking around and exploring and like finding weird shit. And,
that's what it set out.
And that's what it's supposed to be. And there are people that really like these kind of games, and so that's I'm saying it's a good game, and it's a different style than what I would prefer to play if I was just playing games on my own, right? So but it is I think it's pretty good actually, especially for being a game jam game.
That's why this game gets passed, because the other game didn't deliver what it promised to do.
Okay. So here you have it, guys. I mean, if you want to download the game for yourself.
Bit of a short stream, but I mean, there's only so much game there to discuss.
Yeah, we don't want to keep repeating ourselves.
I mean, we should probably set up some rules for the requests. To be honest.
Yeah. We did last time.
Content and whatnot. Like, we should probably put that somewhere on the Discord.
We did last time. No game jams, but this was already submitted before that came into effect, and I didn't realize it was a game jam game until it says game jam game. So I'm gonna look at the other game by the requester and see if it's a game jam game or not. Cause
I'm saying we should put it on the Discord somewhere, like rules for requests.
I don't know how to do that, sir. So I leave that to you. Do you give this game a thumbs up, guys?
Yeah,
definitely.
All right, I give it a thumbs up too. So if you want to download the game and play it for yourself, definitely do so. Developer, if you do create I like to see what else this developer has. Let me check real quick, because if they create games like this, I want to do they actually create RPGs.
I only see one. I only see that game on their itch.
Okay, so not sure if they go by a different name or this is the only game. I don't know. Maybe they're somewhere else, like on RPG. What's that other forum?
RPG Maker Web or RPGmaker.net. But maybe they go by a different name too. Maybe they've existed before as a different name. You know, you never know.
Yeah. That's all I see is the dream thing. That's all I see. Well, sorry.
Some people just make jam games. Like they just join game jams and they never really like make full games.
Yeah.
But like this is fairly recent too. Like the last update is like 2 months ago. Like it's not old even.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it was published 66 days ago. That's like 2 months. So maybe they're gonna update this because they have a version number, right? It's version 0.1.1. Maybe they're gonna update it, make it to a full game. Who knows? Who knows what they're gonna do?
All right, guys. This ain't no need to drag this out even further. You know, Harlequin's tired. Cychronic is the next game because you picked the other game, Harlequin. You picked the last game, so
I got one for you guys. I'll get you the keys.
What? We got a commercial game?
Yep.
How y'all be getting these commercial games, guys? I can't even get $1 for somebody, but y'all get.
What I do is I just go on the community forums on the Steam page for the game, and I say, hey, I was trying to find your email address, I couldn't find it. You don't have a website, but I'd like to review your game, and then they sent me an email and just gave me the keys. So
okay.
Yeah, not everybody is like the developer that shall not be named.
Oh my gosh. So we will see next week at this same time, 2:00. We're going to be playing the game by Cychronic. And once again, guys, we appreciate the support. We know these type of games do not bring a crowd. I do not blame those who didn't show up because some people don't really care too much about game jam games, but it's not about the game jam games. We just want to show the creativity that the developer has, and they are very creative. Really great job. 2 thumbs up from me. Just Yumi Nikki isn't my kind of game, but if it was, I think I would really enjoy this title. I think I would really enjoy the exploration and the different effects that each effects creates, when you use them. So
the game was put together very well. It delivers what it was made to deliver and does it well. So even though we may not like this kind of game, it does what it's supposed to do very well.
I want to see who won. Okay, so is there a way to see who won? Like which place?
If you can get to the jam,
I'm on the jam site.
There should be like a category that says like winners or some shit or ratings.
Just see submission feed, screenshot, community, submission.
Diary jam, community submission. Maybe there was no winner. Maybe they didn't do a winner thing.
Yeah, maybe it was just more.
Yeah, I remember the Herald Jam that had like a ratings category, like overview submissions and then like ratings of winners or some shit like that. But not in this one. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a lot of people commenting either.
31 entries. It's not bad.
Oh.
Yeah, but they didn't have a rating. It seems like there is no winner from what it looks like.
So any of my co-hosts got anything to say before we head on out?
Nope. I think we said everything.
No, I think we're good. I'm good to go.
All right. So once again, we thank you guys, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Definitely check out these links. Those who don't know, I am no longer streaming on YouTube. I am on Twitch. So you want me to catch me on Twitch, definitely join me, D757 Gaming, by the same name. On Twitch, I also do, I take requests to play games. You can definitely ask my co-hosts to do the same thing. Not sure if they're going to do it or not. Maybe not. Maybe Cychronic probably will, but most definitely I will be doing it. And also, you ain't joined our Discord, please join our Discord. We need more people involved in the Discord, and we need more chatters. So tell your friends about us. If you want to submit a game in the community quest, you can do so, where every other week we will spin the wheel, and if the wheel lands on your game, that's the game we will be playing the following week. Alright guys, this is D7, Harlequin, and Cychronic. We are out of here. We'll see you next week. Peace out. Peace. See ya.
See ya on the next one.